places to visit here at the Glass House. Fans, right now it's time for a little bit of tag team action. We got another couple of debutantes in the form of Los Suavecitos, taking on one of the most dominant teams, not just in prestige, but in their titular name, the West Coast as a whole, the West Coast Wrecking Crew.
Introducing the freshest little essays out the trenches, Danny Rowe, Ricky G, the hardest essays ever, Los Suavecitos!
Los Suavecitos, not too popular amongst prestige fans. I mean, you can't really blame them. Recently we saw them at West Coast Pro Wrestling aligning themselves with Adrian Quest. Not even welcome, not even scheduled to compete on that day, but just invading, attacking. Very bitter, very angry are Los Suavecitos, perhaps hoping to channel that aggression here tonight, and they're going to need to, because fans, I mentioned West Coast Pro. They've wrestled in West Coast Pro before. They were scheduled to wrestle in West Coast Pro before, and it was against their very same opponents here tonight, the West Coast Wrecking Crew. A little bit of California love.
And their opponents, the team of Jarrell Nelson and Royce Isaacs, West Coast Wrecking Crew!
The last time we saw Jarrell Nelson and Royce Isaacs, the West Coast Wrecking Crew, was back at Roseland 4 in a qualifying match for the Territory Tag Team Tournament. Easy for me to say. They fell to C4 on that occasion, and you gotta think they have a bit of a chip on their shoulder after that. They lost an opportunity to head to Worcester, Massachusetts to defend the pride of the West Coast at the East Coast as part of the Festival Hell, to compete to become the inaugural IWTV Tag Team Champions. They got a little something to prove it tonight. No better way to prove a little something than to beat one of the hottest, fastest rising teams on the West Coast. Tag champions everywhere from Arizona to Mexico. I'm of course talking about Los Suavecitos. Look at this, Los Suavecitos. Thank you. Jarrell Nelson and Royce Isaacs. Spooked there by the jerseys, excuse me, fans. I do not think that the fans are telling Los Suavecitos that they are number one, but nevertheless, referee Devin Campbell signals for it, the bell rings, and it is time for tag team action. I've said it before, I'll say it again, sometimes tag teams feed off of that negative energy. They feed off of that hatred, proving the fans wrong, spitting in their face, metaphorically, and maybe literally in the form of Los Suavecitos. This is not a popularity contest, this is a wrestling match. Los Suavecitos cannot afford to let the crowd get in their head. Jarrell Nelson informing Ricky G that he is 12 or 13 years old. I didn't catch the exact number. I think he's a little bit older. Look at this, a little noogie action, a little head rub. Danny Rose. It's all about mind games with Los Suavecitos. That momentary distraction from Rose was all Ricky G needed to take advantage of Jarrell Nelson. Nelson, Superman's daddy himself, not going to stay down for long. If anything, you're only going to piss him off. Frequent tags here from Los Suavecitos. Knee meet face. Face meet canvas. Followed up with a huge kick. And that is a big man, Jarrell Nelson. To be folded like an accordion across the ring to the other corner, that is no small feat. No 12 or 13-year-old could do that. Referee Devin trying to regain composure, but now Los Suavecitos double teaming Nelson. Goldberg lands this early on in the contest. This could be it. To the cover, no. Barely a 1 count. Danny Rose is not going to let that phase him here. Oh my God! Jarrell Nelson right back into this thing with chirping chops! And an elbow right to the chest! Another one for good measure. Rose ducks. Those underhanded tactics of Los Suavecitos. I mean, this is why the people are booing them. This is why they're flipping them off. Speaking about flipping, wow. She just got flipped there by Jarrell Nelson, but Nelson's still feeling the effects of that eye scratch. Barely can see, and now, Danny Rose in the wrong part of town, and Royce Isaacs making him pay for his transgressions. I believe they call that a receipt, folks. Of course, far from the first time that we've seen West Coast Wrecking Crew in the Glass House. Maybe the last time we see the Los Suavecitos anywhere. And look at Royce Isaacs muscling him up, walking around the ring with Danny Rose here like he's nothing. Contrary to what Jarrell Nelson says, these are not children. These are fully grown men. And then look at this, stereo suplex. Jarrell's got Ricky in the ring. Royce Isaacs is walking around the crowd with Danny. I've never seen anything like this. The strength of the West Coast Wrecking Crew unparalleled. And now Royce Isaacs is going to dump Danny Rose right on the stage. Man, you think you've seen power, you ain't seen nothing yet till you've seen the Crew. And now they're going to give us a one-way ticket to the gun show. Comes with your IWTV subscription. Not sure if you were aware. Uh-oh. Uh-oh! A little bit of posterior exposure there. We saw Davey Richards in our first match, the American Wolf. The full moon continues. Now it's Jarrell Nelson. Big uppercut there. Ricky G. As I mentioned, far from the first time we've seen these athletes here at the Glass House. Big victory over Dom Kubrick and Lucas Riley back at The New Reality. Jarrell Nelson and Tom Lawler defeating 4-4-0 at Perseverance. Hoping to be 3-0 here. Well, no, Nelson is hoping to be 3-0. The larger Team Filthy West Coast Wrecking Crew collective. A win for one is a win for all. It might be a win for none as Danny Rose catches Jarrell Nelson with that big kick. And his neck just meets a lot of top rope. Look at this, Ricky G back into that ring, take it to the skies. Take nothing away from Los Suavecitos in the ring. They're such an impressive tag team. It's what makes the nefarious, underhanded tactics so frustrating. They don't need them, but they insist on them. They insist on taking the cheap, easy way out. And look at Ricky G giving us a ticket to his own, admittedly smaller gun show. Motion of the ocean, right? Oh, man. Ricky G with a huge forearm to the back. Jarrell Nelson following up with a chop. But G putting those educated feet to good use. Oh, man. Ricky G making the tags. That is the name of the game for Los Suavecitos here. Nice tag team cohesion. Now just stomping a mud hole in Jarrell Nelson. Danny Rose making no friends. Mocking Royce Isaacs. No! Jarrell Nelson able to evade the prying hands of one Ricky G, if only for a moment, and he desperately needs to make a tag to Royce Isaacs. But Ricky preventing that from happening, grabbing him by the feet! But Jarrell Nelson Not letting it sway him from stopping Danny Rose. Still a hell of a long way to go before he reaches Royce Isaacs. Will he be able to make it? No! He was there. Jarrell Nelson made the leap of faith, but it was Ricky G pulling out the feet of Isaacs. This is despicable. Of course, Royce Isaacs trying to solve this injustice, but it's only given Los Suavecitos a further opportunity to use the numbers game, to cheat behind the back of the official. Finally, Devin sees it and does something about it. Look at this, Jarrell Nelson made the tag. Royce Isaacs is in, but the referee didn't see it. Devin Campbell didn't see it. It's referee's discretion. If Devin doesn't see it, it doesn't count. And again, Los Suavecitos going to take any second of distraction they got to beat and put the boots on Jarrell Nelson. My God! I'm sick to my stomach watching this. Look, Danny Rose just talking trash directly into the camera. Fans letting you know what they think. I'd be hard-pressed to disagree. But speaking of pressing, Jarrell Nelson pressing Danny Rose up, but G able to make a cover into a sunset flip. No! Immediately Nelson able to kick out, but got caught with that kick from Danny Rose. Remarkably able to kick out a second time. I mean, the tag team cohesion of Los Suavecitos is unmatched. It really is. Look at Ricky G beating down Nelson. I mean, Nelson has been in there for upwards of 10 minutes here, fans. He needs to make that tag to Royce Isaacs. It is his only recourse. But Los Suavecitos, they're not giving him the chance, but they might have no choice, kicking each other. Those stereo kicks did not hit the mark, and Nelson pounds, period. He hit that pounce with so much authority, but how much did it take out of him? Might it have been wiser to tag in Royce Isaacs? He was close enough to. Can't judge these combatants in the heat of battle. Finally makes that tag. Isaacs is in. Clothesline to G, clothesline to Rose. He has been fuming, boiling on the outside for so many minutes. And now a meeting of the minds for Los Suavecitos. A 10 hut. Clotheslines back and forth from pillar to post. One after another, and again, Royce Isaacs wisely using Ricky G as a projectile of sorts for Danny Rose. Oh man, Danny Rose must be in a world of hurt here. He's getting the brunt of Royce Isaacs' arm and the entire weight of his tag partner. Royce got him up. It's a blue thunder bomb there from Royce Isaacs. No! Danny Rose went for that kick, but nobody home. The power slam from Isaacs into the cover. Danny Rose able to kick out. And the intensity of Royce Isaacs is unparalleled. Jarrell Nelson finally able to make it back to his feet. You see him still nursing that back. He is still feeling it. But they are going to finish this off the only way the West Coast Wrecking Crew knows how. Together. Suavecitos trying to escape, trying to use each other for cover, but got German suplex for their trouble. Spiked on their neck. Isaacs covers the legal man. But Ricky G able to kick out. Excuse me, fans. Danny Rose able to kick out. And now Danny Rose reaching for that camera. fingertips away. That is not where your tag team partner is. No, chops back and forth. Double enziguri rocks Nelson. Isaac sent down with a sit-out DDT. And now, G has Nelson on his shoulder. Foot stomp swanton combination into a Michinoku driver. Los Suavecitos could pick up a victory in their prestige debut. No. Danny Rose arguing with referee Devin Campbell, but again, you're wasting time. The referee's decision is final. Fans telling Los Suavecitos to man up. Oh, Nelson up, but not going down. Again, that has been the ace in the hole of the West Coast Wrecking Crew here tonight, using Los Suavecitos as projectiles against one another. Oh! Now he's got him up. Powerbomb into a German suplex. The neck of Ricky G got to be ground into a powder tonight. Same with Danny Rose. Springboard cutter, gotta be it, and it is.
Your winners, West Coast Wrecking Crew.
I mentioned at the outset of this matchup that the West Coast Wrecking Crew needed to bounce back after that loss to C4. And a victory in a match like that, well, that's as good a way to bounce back as any. Regardless of what you think of them personally, Los Suavecitos proved that they belonged here tonight. But as it stands, the 1-2-3, the W in the record books, belongs to Isaacs and Nelson. The West Coast Crew wrecked. Little post-match gun show. You never have too much of a good thing. West Coast Wrecking Crew in a world of hurt, but you gotta think it is more than worth it. Their victory here tonight. Fans, once again, if you're watching at home, if you're gifting, if you're tweeting, whatever you're doing, use that hashtag Vendetta. Let us know what you're thinking, and thank you, as always, for the support.